Hello and welcome to Fluid Pool. My name is Jonathan. I'm going to run you through some basic getting started instructions for Cardano staking. This is a proof of stake blockchain that you'll be participating in that will give you up to 5% annual rewards on your ADA holdings. Plus, there's ways of getting some bonus tokens that are much higher risk but much higher reward if they do play out. And the risk you're taking is minimal in terms of getting hold of them. So let's get started with a couple of things I suggest you familiarize yourself with. So if you're not using a password manager yet, definitely get into the routine of using that for storing different passwords for every app you use. Get that into a password manager that is on your machine, on your browser, easy to use, quick to use. And if you can get it working with your mobile wallet as well and anywhere else, just so that you get into the habit of never keeping multiple passwords as the same string of characters and words, etc. So let's do that now. Let's have a quick look at Bitwarden. So this is my nice clean browser. I'm just going to run you through the password manager that I use. It's called Bitwarden, and it gives you really quick access to your passwords from your browser primarily. It also stands as a standalone desktop app or as a mobile app. It's very good to do. So I'm just going to drop down to grab it from the Chrome store. So I'll install the Chrome version. So you can see it's got extensions for all the other browsers as well. This is a good way of just getting it into your browser, into your daily routines. So I already have an account with them, but for the sake of it, I'm going to get started with a brand new one, just so that you can get a feel for what's involved in the signing up and whatnot. So your master password needs to be a fairly strong password, but it's the only password you'll have to remember after this point. That's the idea anyway. So make it something memorable, something that you can get hold of, and use it just to get into Bitwarden. My password's not particularly strong because I'm just setting it up for video purposes. Okay, and this is a prompt you typically see from browsers, is to store the passwords in the browser's password manager. I recommend not doing that and just using Bitwarden or LastPass, one of these mechanisms instead. It's a separate entity from Chrome, from Google, separate entity from many of the browsers, and means you can run it on multiple devices and so on and so forth. You can also run it for applications, for your banking passwords, all that sort of thing instead even. So I created my account. You can see this is a web-based vault. You can tell it's web-based because it's just got a URL in here, vault.bitwarden.com. But I want to use the extension. So on my extensions, this is going to be a bit small for you, but on my extensions, I've got this little pin icon. I can pop the extension onto my taskbar, onto my toolbar all the time. So now I can log in using this little window that you can't really see what's going on. But using it here means that I can quickly get hold of my passwords for saving and for recovery storing. And there we go, we're in here and here. So let's close the web window. So we've set up a password manager. We haven't stored anything in it yet, but that'll come in a second. Now we're going to set up a Cardano DeFi wallet called Eternl. And Eternl is, again, on the Chrome store. I'm going to search for Eternl, Eternl, and the tick is important in this little squiggly circle because that certifies that Eternl.io is a registered extension provider. So this is giving you a bit more assuredness that this is the right extension for the Eternl wallet. That's the logo to look out for. So that's how it currently looks as of now. Branding changes on these things, so beware of that as well if you're watching this in the future. So I'm just going to add this extension, and that will also become available in my little toolbar up here. So if I click that now, so when I click that Eternl icon now, it'll drop me into a browser extension version of the app, the DApp, which is, in my opinion, safer to use than the web website, because all the information is just interacting between you and your browser on your local machine, rather than going up to Eternl.io, which is a website, so it's having to traverse the internet to get there. So I do things always just in the extension, and that uses local storage for passwords and for login credentials and cookies and whatnot. So this is in Eternl, which is a wallet that connects to the Cardano blockchain. So I'm first going to create a new wallet. So let's call this Fluid 7, spelled out with a number 7, because I know I haven't used that before. I'm going to create a password here. And so previously I just created a password from my mind, and that's the one I have to remember forever in Bitwarden. Now I'm going to get Bitwarden to create any future passwords for me, and that way I'll have to get into Bitwarden to then be able to get into any of these passwords. So I'm going to click my little Bitwarden icon in the taskbar and click add a login. I'm sorry that my screen is so tiny in that corner, but hopefully you'll be able to just get a vague impression of where I'm going. So I'm going to call this app my Eternl Fluid 7 wallet. I'm going to create it as a secure note, which is a little bit different from a login, but that's what I prefer to use just for wallets in particular. I'm going to go into this master password reprompt. So whenever anybody accesses this password within this Bitwarden, they have to put the master password in again every time they use it. And that's just an additional security measure. It's useful. I'm going to add a custom field rather than using this the login with a password field. I'm going to get a secure note with a hidden field, and I'm going to call it spending password. So with Cardano, you have a spending password and you had a seed phrase. Seed phrase we're coming to next, but your spending password is the first thing. And to ever spend money from that wallet, you need to use your spending passphrase. And then I'm going to save that. And then I'm going to come to the Bitwarden extension again and use this generator at the bottom here. And this will create me a random password. And I can stick extra special characters in there and everything. So let's copy that now and paste that into here, and save. So this is now creating that account. I'm going to go back into Bitwarden and I'm going to find my Eternl Fluid 7 secure note. I'm going to go into it and I'm going to edit it. I'm going to ask me for my master password. In there, I'm going to drop the password I just created into that field and save. So now next step is to decide how many accounts within that wallet you want. I pretty much always just do one, and I create a new wallet if I ever need another one. Depending on where you want to go with this, you may create a couple of accounts if you want to delegate to multiple pools, but I just create a new wallet and delegate that to another pool. So let's save that as one. Now this is the important part, confirming nobody can see your screen, because you're going to be shown the secret phrase that you should never use again. So here I go. Everybody can see this, so don't do what I'm doing. Make sure no one's around. Don't broadcast it to the internet. But this is what's called a mnemonic phrase, and it's your seed phrase or your recovery phrase. And these 24 words, if anybody gets hold of these, they can spend whatever you've got in that wallet. So they've got to be dead secret, dead safe. And what I'd recommend you do is to write these down on a piece of paper and never share them with anybody. So hide that piece of paper somewhere you know about. You can even get metal plates, stamp it into those. You can do all sorts of things to secure your seed phrase. But it's the most important thing. If you lose your seed phrase, you lose your funds. So I've just saved these words, write them down on a bit of paper, hide it carefully. And then in the next step, we'll be asked to repeat them back to it. So now I'm typing those words back in. And you'll notice that you actually only need to type the first 4 characters of each word for the word to be found. That will narrow down the suggested words, just the ones that are available. Once you've typed in all those words again, then it gives you some instructions. I understand that the only way to recover my wallet if my computer is lost, broken, stolen, or stops working is to use my wallet recovery phrase. So that is the seed phrase. That's why it's useful on a bit of paper. If you lose it, it's gone forever. So let's continue. That's now created a wallet for me to store my ADA in. Now, we've set up our password manager. We'll use Bitwarden. We've set up our Cardano DeFi Wallet, called from Eternl. We're now going to buy some ADA on a centralized exchange. In this instance, I would recommend you go through using your favorite exchange. That could be Kraken, could be crypto.com, could be Binance, could be Coinbase. Any of these big centralized exchanges that will perform KYC on you, know your customer. So you'll have to show them your ID and a photograph and your home address and a bill, all that sort of stuff, just to make sure that they know, and the government that exchange is in knows who you are. That way they can charge you taxes down the road. So you do need to go through that to get money from your bank account onto the blockchain world, blockchain space, and then you can use one of those platforms like Binance to buy ADA with your pounds, your dollars, and then what you'll do is send the ADA from that centralized exchange into your DeFi wallet, into this case Eternl. So in Eternl now I can show you where you're sending the funds from the exchange to. So this receive tab in the wallet is giving you a ADDR1 and a long string of numbers, letters, and that is your receiving address for your wallet. So anybody can send ADA into that address and it will be stored in your wallet. You will then own it. They won't be able to access it. And so in this instance, we're sending money from Binance, for example, over to this ADDR1 address, and they will, and when it shows up in here, that means it's left the exchange and it's now in your DeFi wallet, and you are entirely responsible for it. So that seed phrase is crucial, because nobody can help you get back access to this wallet if you lose that seed phrase and you lose the passwords. So make sure you know them, make sure you've got them stored safely, and they can't be stolen from you. So I'm just going to jump off now and send some ADA from another wallet. So I've got some in here. So now I have sent some ADA from another wallet into this wallet. You can see the balance is sitting at 505 ADA, which is about $244 in today's markets. And what we're going to do from this point is a couple of things. One thing I want you to do is to secure this wallet as well, so you can walk away from the machine and know that nobody can get in and see this wallet. So let's click on the cog icon. Let's just enter a password here. Again, it'd be great to store this in your Bitwarden so you can get back in again when you need to. Let's jump in, have a look at Fluid7 wallet, edit that, put in the master password, and then create another hidden field. I'm going to call this wallet password, and then in fact I might even call it Eternl password, because you know then that it's just related to opening your wallet whilst you're in Eternl. And then let's save that, use the, oops, actually that might be useful. Yeah, so I'm just going to grab a new password. Let's copy that and put it back into my new hidden field for, it's called Eternl password, and save that. I'm going to paste that password in here to make sure it's saved here. And that has now set a password, and you can see that I've got this new lock feature here. So when I want to, I can lock the wallet, and then nobody can get into my laptop if I leave it open and access this wallet independently of everything else. So it's just something useful to remember to do when you leave your wallet at the end of the day. I'm going to unlock it again for now. Now, the important thing to do is to delegate your ADA to Fluidpool. Now, I've got 505 ADA in here, and you don't have to have that much. You can delegate to a stake pool with far less. The reason I've got 505 is because it also lets you join into Project Catalyst's voting system, which is a whole other thing I can talk about in another video. But yeah, another way to earn money is Project Catalyst. So while we're here, we're going to do the first thing to earn money on Cardano, the easiest thing, which is to delegate to a stake pool. So in the staking tab in Eternl, you can see a list of all the pools that are available out there. And you can pick a pool based on various different things. There's a page on my website, on the homepage of my website, that helps you decide how you're going to pick a pool. I would recommend you just pick Fluid Pool. So I'm going to search for Fluid. There I am. And I'm going to delegate to Fluid Pool. We put in the spending passphrase for this wallet to sign the transaction, to delegate to the pool. This will cost me a couple of ADA. We can see exactly how much down here. So it's going to cost me 2 ADA, and then on top of that there's a transaction fee of 0.174. That's a fee that gets charged on all transactions across the Cardano blockchain, which is a very small amount compared to the gas fees on Ethereum, for example. I'm going to sign that transaction to grab the spending password from Bitwarden. Sign that transaction. That's now been posted to the blockchain. It's in our pending transactions. so transactions pending column, and in a few seconds it will end up being seen in the history, and this will change from pending to on-chain, and then it will move from low confirmation to high confirmation, and that means you know that the whole copy of the blockchain all around the world has got your delegation registered to Fluid Stake Pool. So let's give it a couple of minutes while that plays out. That's now moved on chain. You can see that the delegation has happened. Remove pending from our queue. We can see it in history. Now you can see that that transaction has low confirmation at the moment. And in a couple more minutes, it'll move to high, like this one here. So that means it's lots. So in this case, 47 people confirmed, 47 nodes have confirmed. And this one, 0 confirmations yet. So we'll wait for that to trickle out and trickle back in from around the blockchain. But yeah, it only takes under a minute really to do transactions, have confirmation all around the blockchain. Regardless, the job is done now. So if we can go back to our account tab, we can see that for epoch 365, and epoch is 5 days, and so epoch 365 will be delegated to Fluid Pool. So for 364 and 363, which is the current epoch 363, we're not delegated yet. So that's basically to the end of this epoch is 2 days, and then there'll be a 5-day period for the next epoch to wrap, and then we'll start earning rewards from our delegation to Fluid Pool. You earn rewards whenever Fluid Pool mints a block, so hopefully that will come about for us soon. So far, Fluid Pool's minted 10 blocks. You can go and check us out on pool.pm, which is an interesting way to see some information about the pool. So once you have delegated your ADA to Fluid Pool, which we have done now, the last thing to do is to register for the bonus rewards that I personally issue out for participating in Fluid Pool. So to do that, you need to join the Discord server. I'll leave a link, invitation link in the notes, in the comments, and I'll also show you, you just go to https://dsc.gg/fluid7. That'll get you to into the Discord server. Once you are into the Discord server, you'll see the welcome screen, and from here you can start to verify that you are a delegated to the pool, and that will give you access to some extra rewards, and also an extra channel where I drop my all my investing actions. I let my delegators know what I'm doing, just so that if they want to do their own research and get involved, they can as well. So to verify as a registered staker, you in the server go to any channel. The welcome channel is fine. Type /verify add. Now we need to add in the receive address from the wallet we created in Eternl. So let's jump back to Eternl. Go to our receive address and receive tab. Copy that address, ADDR1, and then we're going to paste it into here. And I've got a bot on the server that will give you some instructions as to how to verify, how to follow it through to completion. So it's asking us to carry out a small transaction on the blockchain so it knows that we are who we say we are. So it's saying, please send 2.424998 ADA. So I'm going to copy that to the address we've just copied from. So we're going to send it back to ourselves. Then this will check that transaction and verify that we own that address and that we are delegated. So let's jump back to our wallet now and create a send transaction. So we're going to send. Oh, I need to get the address first. So let's just verify that that is the same address as we pasted in earlier. That's our receive address. So you can check it by taking the first few letters, ADDR1, Q9L, Q9L, and then check the last few, 75X6, 75X6. And if you want to be particular, it'll take some from the middle as well, T37T, T37T. Cool, so that way you know that you've copied the same address as being pasted in. And we're going to do a send transaction to that address. And the amount we're going to send is that 2.42998 ADA. And you can click next. And now it's asking for the spending passphrase, so you haven't spent anything yet. You can go down and check your transaction. So it's saying we're going to send 2.4 so there's the value in the output of this transaction, 2.42 ADA out. It's going to cost us 0.16. That's the transaction fee. And we're actually going to get back again that 2.42 minus the transaction fee. So it's only costing us the transaction fee, which is why that's in red up there. The way that Cardano works is that you have to send everything out of a particular chunk of money in your wallet, as though you were handing over a £50 note or something, and then you get change back. And so that's what we're seeing here. We're sending out a chunk of money, which is 502.82, which happens to be the whole balance in this current wallet. And then we'll get back change of 500 and then 2.42, which is going to another address. But it just so happens that its other address is also the same address. So it's going in, coming back out again. But it'll cost us 0.168, and from there you can get bonus rewards from Fluid Pool. So let's put in our spending passphrase now. Sign that transaction, and that will go up into our pending queue on the transactions tab. And then given a few seconds, that will end up in our from a pending state into an on-chain state. We'll just wait a minute for that to happen. So there we go. Now that transaction is on chain. Just take that out of there. Just a bit of tidying. Check the history. It's got low confirmations, so it'll take a little bit longer probably before the bot on the Discord server finds us, but let's go and have a look anyway. So what's happening over here is it's been slowly checking the internet since it asked us to carry out this first instruction. Still awaiting verification. Still awaiting verification. And then the final thing says, you are now verified with stake address stake 1U8UO, etc., etc. Through transaction there. So we have verified that address is delegated to Fluid Pool. We're now going to do the final step to register for the rewards, which is /whitelist register, and then we need that address again. And you can see now you are currently registered for the following whitelists rewards. So once you've done that, you will be assigned the staker role, and that will present to you our secret hidden channel for members, which is here. So go through those steps. You'll be registered for extra rewards, and you can get access to my top tips. So to recap what we've been through today is we set up a password manager called Bitwarden. We set up our DeFi wallet called Eternl. We then bought some ADA and sent that ADA from a centralized exchange to the DeFi wallet. We then delegated the ADA to Fluid Pool. And then the final thing was on our Discord server to register for bonus rewards. Those bonus rewards will be in the form of gimbal tokens. The distribution mechanism for that is yet to be rolled out, but they'll be coming to you, and they are a community token that's used for rewarding members. You can then use those tokens to pay for services on the project Catalyst that I mentioned earlier, and in Catalyst Swarm in particular, which is a group that's very active in putting together a lot of the infrastructure around Catalyst itself, including the town hall and the after town hall. Anyway, I hope that's a good introduction for you. I'll see you on Discord every Friday morning at 9:30. We have a live Q&A session, so if you need any help with any of these steps, come down there and I'll sort you out. But really good. Thanks for watching.